If you're thinking about visiting Denver, I'm going to help you have an awesome time while you're here by letting you know where to go and where to eat in one video. I live here, but we visited Denver about 10 years ago and we loved it so much that we ended up moving our whole family here many moons ago. Anyone who lives here will tell you that Denver has changed a ton in the past decade. So the things that I'm going to suggest in this video are the things that I would do if I was a tourist in my own city right now. Because especially weather and the time of the year create some variables here, I'll give you some options roughly by category so that you can figure out what makes the most sense for you and you can kind of choose your own adventure. Make sure to keep watching because I'll also share some things that I think that you can skip on your trip to Denver. It could save you a lot of time, disappointment, and help you make sure that your trip is awesome. You've got a trip to plan, so let's do this. If you're into art at all, or you just have to do something inside because of weather, I would check out the Denver Art Museum for the more traditional side, Meow Wolf for something more out there, or the Denver Center for Performing Arts, also known as a DCPA. Of course, there's a great collection of art inside, but the Denver Art Museum is actually a really cool looking building from the outside, and it has this giant dustpan that people like to take pictures with when they come to visit. If the weather's nice, you can walk through Civic Center Park and also take some pictures at the state capitol. It's a great way to just knock out a few things without taking multiple trips. And now Meow Wolf. It's Meow Wolf. It's really difficult to describe. I've been to the location in New Mexico, and of course I've been to the one in Denver. It is as weird as you would expect if you've looked this up online at all. I think ours is a little less crazy than the New Mexico location, but I could be desensitized at this point too. When people ask if you had fun or what you thought of Meow Wolf, you kind of just nod because your brain is confused at the experience that it just had. I do think that most people enjoy this place as long as you're not weirded out by unusual things. If you're into a different kind of art, I would highly recommend checking out the calendar for the Denver Center for Performing Arts. It's one of my favorite places in the city. It's about as cool as any performing arts venue that you'll find anywhere in the United States, and there's always a wide variety of shows playing there as well. While you're here, I would recommend going to a food hall because they're a big part of our food scene here. More specifically, I would recommend going to Avanti or The Source. If you want something quicker, not like a full sit-down meal, Avanti will make you feel like you live here. It has great energy, it's fun inside. In general, this is kind of where tourists and locals rub shoulders next to each other without knowing it to enjoy some pretty good, reasonably affordable quick-serve food with no reservations. In terms of food halls, it's actually our most successful restaurant incubator. A lot of the stalls in Avanti end up graduating to create their own brick-and-mortar locations throughout the city. It has a big patio with great views of the city, and if you're meeting up with friends in Denver, everyone knows where Avanti is, so it's a pretty easy spot to meet up. If you'd rather have a sit-down food hall experience, The Source is Denver's first food hall, and there are a lot of really good options inside. While Avanti is more of a cool, modern food court with many different quick-serve options, The Source is more like a collection of sit-down restaurants that are all in one place, and many are surprisingly good. Anyone who watches my channel knows that I love Tamaki Den. It is one of my favorite sushi restaurants in the city, and it's inside The Source. You can get a surprisingly affordable lunch there without paying a ton of money, and it's one of the better sushi places in the city. Safta is also inside The Source, and it's absolutely one of the best restaurants in Denver. Just make sure to make a reservation if you're planning to go there. Okay, and if you want to go to a food hall where the food isn't great, but the pictures will look amazing, you could also go to Milk Market. It's by far our most Instagram-worthy food hall. I will warn that the food at Milk Market is overpriced and not very good, but Milk Market is also connected to my favorite restaurant in the city, Bruto. If you can get a reservation there, it's a chef's table setup. I guarantee you will love it. Next, if the weather allows, I would definitely check out a park. That's a big part of living here. During the day, I would check out City Park or Wash Park, and at night, I would consider Cheeseman Park for a very interesting reason. Just in case you're traveling with kids and it's like the spring or the summertime and you're getting nice weather, City Park might be the move because it is right next to the Denver Natural History Museum. They have a splash pad and also a water area where you can rent paddle boards and things like that. It will give you some things to do with your kids that are outside. The Denver Zoo is also nearby, so this kind of follows that theme of trying to knock out a bunch of things all at once without going back and forth to the same locations. But if you don't have kids, Wash Park is the place where you will see beautiful people playing volleyball on a sunny day, throwing the frisbee with their dog, and just generally having a good time. It's in a nice area, and it's probably the most popular park in Denver. So if I was kidless and traveling, I would probably rent a bike and just do a few laps around the park and just take it all in. There are also some pretty solid food options right around Wash Park that aren't crazy expensive. You could check out Ni Tuyo to get molcajete, which is super popular right now. We also have homegrown tap and dough, solid pizza spot, very kid-friendly, and Perdita has fancy Mexican food, which I think is pretty good. There was a period of my life where I was really into ghost things, and that's why we're talking about Cheeseman Park. It's built on top of a cemetery, and it is home to some paranormal activity that inspired the movie The Changeling, and there are some popular ghost tours that you can do here. If you end up doing one of these ghost tours, I can't guarantee that you'll see anything, but you will learn a bunch of random facts about the area and about Denver, and maybe you'll take home a ghost as a souvenir. Maybe. Of course, if you're a sports person, you could check out a Nuggets, Rockies, Broncos, or Avalanche game, or going to an event or a concert at Red Rocks, also a good idea. In general, Denver is a good sports city with friendly fans that aren't there to start trouble. If you're not an aggro fan and you want to come here to see your team, you should be okay. If you're a music person, you could absolutely go out to Red Rocks, but do remember that it's about 40 minutes outside of the city. I do think that Red Rocks is absolutely one of the top concert venues in the United States, but I think that if you're going to drive all the way out there from Denver, you need to go for an event, whether that's yoga on the rocks, watching a movie, or going to a concert. It just makes it more worth your time. And if you go to a game in the city, I would highly recommend pairing it with something nearby. So for example, if you go to a Rockies game, you can check out McGregor Square, which is our kind of smaller version of LA Live that's right next to the stadium. If you're going to a Nuggets or Avalanche game at Ball Arena, you could check out Larimer Square, which is not far away. There are a bunch of great restaurants over there, including Rioja, and also Tamayo has an all-you-can-eat brunch if you're going to a day game. It's a really nice area to walk around, especially if the weather's nice. If you're not a sports person at all, that's totally fine. You could pair something like the Denver Botanic Gardens with Shells and Sauce, one of my favorite Italian restaurants in the city. If you've done some Googling, you've probably seen the Rhino Art District pop up when you're looking for things to check out in Denver. If I was visiting and I was checking out all this local street art, I would also pair it with a really great meal at Uchi Denver, Redeemer Pizza, Cart Driver, or Super Mega Bien for something a little different. The art district alone is great for pictures and putting things up on the gram, but to get the most out of your time in Rhino, you might as well get some good food while you're there. Some people will tell you that when you visit Denver, you should go to the Buckhorn Exchange because it is the oldest restaurant in Denver and it also serves game meat. Personally, I would rather do a more modern take on everyday places that people go in Denver to get a better feel for the food scene here. You can check out Blue Pan for pizza, The Post for fried chicken, Linger, L5, or Root Down for some very popular sit-down meals. L5 has one of the best views from any restaurant in the city, so make reservations in advance if you want to take advantage of that. And now for some things that I don't think you really need to do in Denver that a lot of people might suggest. I don't really think that you have to go to the 16th Street Mall as a destination. If you're staying anywhere near downtown, chances are you're going to pass by it, but I wouldn't carve out a ton of time to hang out here. I also don't really think that you need to go to the Cherry Creek shopping center area or the Cherry Creek Mall because if you've been to a mall or a nice shopping street before, it's kind of the same. This might be a little controversial, but I don't think that you need to go to the Cherry Cricket to have a burger. This makes me sad because this was the first restaurant in Denver that I ever went to. It absolutely used to be one of the best burgers in the city many years ago, but it's kind of lost some of that recently. Some people would say the same thing for the Denver Biscuit Company, which has one of the longest waits for any brunch in Denver, but I think that that kind of has its own appeal. The reality is that there are just better burger options in the city now, including Lucy's Burger Bar, 5280 Burger Bar, and Park Burger. If you're looking for incredible Asian food or dim sum, I'm sad to say that Denver is just not the spot for that. We are getting better. I will absolutely say that. But you've had better Asian food in other cities. Also, a lot of our best Asian food in the city is in the north suburbs and also in Aurora. So if you're planning to stay really in Denver, this might take you a little bit out of your way and mess up your logistics a little bit. I talked a little bit about food halls earlier, and many people will tell you to go to Denver Central Market, and it's completely a legit suggestion. It's very nice inside, it's cool, great place to grab a drink with a friend, but the food options are pretty limited, so if you're looking for food, it's not my my top choice. You also might see Zeppelin Station when you're Googling food places to check out in Denver. It has really fallen off in the past few years. This used to be a food hall with cool pop-ups from New York City. The food has just gotten not good since COVID. For some reason, a lot of people suggest going to Stanley Marketplace, which is out in Aurora, and it's cool, but I don't think that this is a must-see thing to do in Denver. It's totally great if you happen to be staying nearby, but I feel the same way about it that I feel about Edgewater Public Market. Also a cool place, looks cool from the outside, a lot of food options inside, but if you're not staying out that way, I don't think that these are must-see things to do. There are also a couple things that you're likely to see while you're just organically going around the city, including the Big Bear at the Colorado Convention Center and Sculpture Park by the DCPA. They're both cool and they're great tourist pictures to have to remind you of your trip to Denver, but I wouldn't plan your whole day around it. They're both more of like, you see it, it looks cool, you take a picture, snap a selfie with it, all good. I could literally keep going on this video for an hour, but I'll just include some links in the description and on the screen so that you can find some more specifics of things to do in Denver. I cover a ton of stuff in those videos, so check them out if you want to go more in depth, and I hope that you have a great time here.